So you did.
I know you thought I was gonna.
I did.
You thought I was gonna swerve. You thought I was gonna swerve.
I did. You did the drum roll and you got me. I'm like, oh, I went. Oh, I actually did a little sigh of relief.
And I convinced myself when I started thinking about how famous they were. Do you love to travel?
Do you love road trips?
Do you love finding hidden treasures in towns all over the USA? Hi, I'm Joshua.
And I'm Craig. Welcome to Treasures of Our Town. It's a podcast that explores unique and charming towns scattered throughout the United States.
Guided by our love for location-based games like geocaching. Join us as we venture to some of the country's most intriguing destinations, uncovering hidden gems and local secrets along the way.
On today's episode, it's not really a big one. It's March Madness!
Oh my gosh, it's the Super Bowl of our podcast, Craig.
It really is. Josh, you remember last year? If anyone that hasn't heard of last year, go back and listen to last year. A great episode last year as well. We had Shorty Knits on as our third guest as well for that one too, which is awesome. And it was, Josh, as we said before, it was our number one listened show for 2024. So right now, if you're listening to this, you're probably listening to our number one listened show for 2025. That's my prediction, Josh. That's my prediction, mate.
That is a very good prediction. And I actually, this week, to get me in the mood, Craig, I went back and I listened to last year's podcast. Yeah.
You did?
So, yeah, and I'm pumped. I am pumped.
Well, we're not going to get into the rules and regulations just yet, but I will say that you will not hear anyone particular from last year. We cannot repeat ones from last year. So even if they didn't win, they're not repeated this year. These are all brand new, Josh. Every single one of these are brand spanking new too. So
yes,
exactly. So speaking of brand spanking new, would you like a guest now, or do you want to do our delays and upgrades first, mate?
Let's do our delays and upgrades, and then we can bring in our very special guest.
Yes,
Craig, what are your upgrades and delays? Tell me more.
Well, okay. My upgrades and delays they're kind of linked to the same thing. And it's, again, Josh, hello. I'm a man in Laverne living down by the river. I don't really have delays. I don't. It's insane,
Wow.
But I will say, I'll start with my upgrades. And of course, last weekend, I flew to California from Houston with Rob Vardaman, the president of Muncie, because there was a big, huge Muncie event over there called Muncie Madness. That's right, because it's in March, and it's sort of a play off this sort of same thing again with the basketball thing. Flew over there for 2 days of just full-on Muncie gameplay. Now, if you don't play Muncie, that's okay, but just listen to this. There was a world record game beater on Friday. In other words, one player, Tofu Girl, her name is, she got 7.5 million points, the most ever in one day. And then the very next day, less than 24 hours later, Cole Cracker 7 from Florida outdid her with 9 million points on the next day. 9 million points in one day, Josh. I mean, how many points do you have over 14 years of your play?
33 million. 33
million over 14 years, and this person got 9 million in one day. So that shows the difference in the points value. But anyway, that's my upgrade. My delay, Josh, is it's going to have to be my flight back, because it didn't get delayed. It did not get delayed. It was on time, but it wasn't direct from Orange County to Houston. I left Orange County, Josh, at 7:30 p.m. I flew into Houston because of the time change and daylight savings change. I flew into Houston at 6:30 a.m. and only got 3 hours sleep on the plane because I had to go via San Francisco. So anyway, that's my delay. Is that a really bad delay? I don't think so.
It's not too bad. It is a triple whammy. Going east during daylight savings.
Yes.
Springing forward, you lose an hour. Then you got the time change, and then you got a red eye at the same time. That's a triple whammy.
Exactly. And luckily we only record this as audio because I do have red eyes at the moment. I'm living up to it from last night or this morning I arrived in. So anyway, mate, what is yours? What about yours? Delays and upgrades?
Well, I'm going to project my upgrade because I am getting out of here. I'm getting out of Minnesota finally. On Wednesday, I'm hopping on a plane. Craig, I just realized this is my downgrade. That I have not gone, get this, I've not gone on a geocaching trip for over 7 months.
What? Have you been in hibernation, Josh? In your Minnesota, what do you call it, snowmobile or whatever it is? You're hibernating, mate.
I can't believe it. I mean, the last geocaching trip I took was when I was in Germany in August, and I haven't done any geocaching trips since then. However, that's my downgrade. The upgrade is it's all changing. Geocaching season's here. We're going to Texas Challenge. When you listen to this podcast, we were already there. I'm sure we had a great time.
Absolutely.
You're going to hear about it on this podcast of everything we experienced in Floresville, Texas. But yeah, I'm just happy that I'm going to be getting out of here very, very soon. And the white stuff is melting right now.
Yeah.
By the time I'm back, it will be gone.
It'll be mud then by the time you're back. It's going to be mud. Josh, when you said you're going to predict your upgrades, I thought you were going to actually predict that you're going to be the winner on today's episode. Just saying, like, how's your pump up for this, for your picks for this one, for today's or this season's episode?
Yeah, I'm feeling pretty good. I'm feeling pretty good about it because last year, if you remember, I did win. My entry was the big winner.
I got second and third
and fourth. I think you had three of them in the final four, but I came out champion.
Yeah, I know. But anyway,
all right, let's get to our guest.
I was going to say, Josh, you think you've got some, pump up some good quality ones too. Our special guest today, she did her own research. She's done a few things that she's been to these ones. She's researched them. She's seen them in real life too. Some of them she hasn't. It's just an actual research show as well. But do you want to introduce the one, the only?
Sure. We have with us the one, the only, Mecca MN, Courtney, from the great state of Minnesota. She's here. She's one of us. Actually, she's from Wisconsin, but we won't hold that against her. But she lives here in Minnesota. Welcome, Courtney. Welcome to our show.
Thank you for having me.
Straight away leads in with that giggle as well.
The giggling has started already. I love it.
It started already. It's great. And some people, so Josh, some people out there, they would have listened to a few of our different shows, whether it be the Treasures of Our Town podcast, whether it be even the official Munsey podcast as well, because we've mentioned that Courtney is a fellow podcaster with our good friend, Minnesota boy. And they have a brewery podcast too. So Courtney, yes, tell us a little bit about yourself. Tell us about your brewery podcast. Tell us about Tim. and go from there.
So Tim and I do the Brewery Adventure. We're at thebreweryadventure.com, the Brewery Adventure on Instagram, the Brewery Adventure on YouTube. We go to various breweries, mostly in the metro, in the Twin Cities here, talk about the ambiance, kind of the feels that we get when we're hanging out and having our beers inside. We are not beer experts. We don't talk about all the technicalities of what makes a good kind of beer great. We don't get into that. We just like hanging out at breweries and having beer.
I did notice here, and it's true. I will say, and it's not a bad thing. You are not a beer expert because those of you who are on Untapped, for instance, that beautiful app where you can share all your beer reviews, Courtney, you're the type of person that says, if I'll drink this again, it's a 5. If I'm not going to drink it again, it's a 0. That's what you do. That's it. There's no in between for you.
Well, I don't even know if I can go down to 0.
Oh, so you can do a 1, do you?
I mean, if I can't drink it again, it's probably going to look like a 3.
Oh, wow. See, too nice. So you're obviously not from Minnesota. You are Wisconsin. So,
well,
that's very Minnesota nice to rank those beers so generously.
That's true.
Yeah.
Well, if you are interested in breweries and beers, I suggest that you listen to it, even if you're not from the Minneapolis, St. Paul area, because what they talk about is like, what are the type of things that make breweries great? Yep. And they talk about the ambiance. They talk about the bathrooms. They talk about if they can get a flight or not. So
Tim
it's
is
great.
Very particular about the bathroom situation at the breweries.
If you're a person who at the moment thinking about going into the brewery business itself, make sure you put one of those foot grabs on the bathroom doors.
Yes.
If you've got a foot grab on the bathroom door, that's Tim's highlight of the whole brewery adventure for him. That's his number one pick, is a foot grab for the bathroom toilets.
It's the little things that are important.
Yes. I think all public bathrooms should have the foot grab, honestly. I'm kind of a germaphobe.
Oh, geez. I don't mind. I even lick my hand. I'm joking. Ew. Anyway, we're not going to go down that. We're not going to go down that rabbit hole. Courtney, you did some research for this show as well. You did listen to last year's episode, yeah?
I listened to last year's episode. I did research. I do want to clarify, though, that I have not been to a single one of these locations on my list. I think there were maybe one or two that I'd been to on yours, but not mine.
Well, that's good, and that's the case then, because hopefully, you might get, I might get your pick then from there. So, Josh, do you want to lead in as to how this is going to play out? How are we going to do this, mate?
Yes, for sure. And here's the thing: it is essential that Courtney is here because we can't have just two people. We can't have four because we can't have a tie for each of these attractions, each of these roadside attractions. We need to have a deciding person. And so here's what we're going to do. We are now entering 2025's roadside attractions March Madness. And we are going to determine the number one, the champion of all roadside attractions in the grand US of A. But before we get started, we need to define for y'all what we believe is a roadside attraction. So here it is.
And what Google believes is a roadside attraction.
Yeah, what Google believes, because Google knows everything. And ChatGPT knows everything too. But I think ChatGPT just takes stuff from Google. So
yes.
So a roadside attraction is a feature along the side of a road meant to attract tourists. In general, these are places that one might stop on the way to somewhere rather than being a destination. However, if you listen to last year's podcast, some of the places become destinations, especially if you're a geocacher, because a lot of times there are geocaches hidden at these destinations.
That's right.
So we've done this very scientifically this year. Last year, it was a little willy-nilly, but this year, this is a scientific formula. Yeah. It's going to be completely fair on how we're going to do this. So what we have done, we've included our patrons in this whole process. So Craig submitted 6 of his roadside attractions. Yep. Courtney submitted 6. I submitted 6. And then the patrons on our last show submitted a bunch of them, and Craig and I selected 5 of those 6. So we have 6 from each of us, and we have 5 from the patrons. And then you might be thinking, well, how are we going to make this fair? How can we make this ranked? How do we rank them?
Yeah.
And so what we did, we went back to our patrons. I listed all 23 of them, and then their patrons would have to list 5 of their favorites. And by using that determined the ones that got the most votes had the higher seed, which is the 1 seed, and the ones that didn't get any votes. Actually, there was like only 5. I think only 5 or 6 that didn't get any votes
at all.
They are the lowest seeds.
Were they all your picks, Josh? They were all your picks, I think.
No, not at all. And there were some ties. So I used random.org to decide the ties. And then when I plugged them in, if there was a situation where a first round, it was a Craig submitted pick and a Craig submitted pick, I made sure that you were not going head to head against yourself on a first round.
On a first round, yeah.
So what's going to happen here? We're going to go through these matchups. They're all matched up. If you're interested, we're going to put it on our show notes. If you want to follow along, you could pause and you could follow along on our bracket. We have a full bracket here. And what we're going to do is I'm going to name the matchup. And then the people that submitted those roadside attractions, they will get to go first and they will make their case. They will make their case why their roadside attraction is great. And then the other person will make their case for theirs. And then we'll have a discussion. And then we will vote. Now, last year, sometimes, the person was so convincing that they didn't even vote for their own. We're going to be very fair. I'm putting my hand up right now. I'm swearing that if I believe that the one that I'm going up against is better, I will vote for it.
Yeah, and I swear too. And Courtney, do you swear on your brewery adventure?
I swear on my brewery adventure.
Oh, Tim's going to love that. That's a nice little soundbite for him. Anyway, sounds good. So I already know, Josh, my first one in the bracket anyway is it's a top notch one. If this one doesn't get through to at least the 3rd, 4th round, I'll be crying.
What's really fun about this one is that we have true underdogs now, because we have some that didn't get any votes from our patrons, and we have true favorites too. Somebody that could take it away. And the favorites they have an easier path. They have an easier path to the finals.
Absolutely.
And that is only fair because they worked hard. Craig, they worked hard all year to make their attraction great. And you know what? Whoever made that attraction, they put it there because they were proud of their talent.
Oh, I knew it was
and that's a damn rare thing these days.
See, finally you get it in the first 15 minutes now, so you don't forget it like you've done the last few episodes. So very good, Josh. Very good, mate. You didn't even put that in the actual little show notes. I'm proud of you. I'm proud of you. I'm proud of my boy.
You.
So anyway, all right. Are we gonna get it started? Are we gonna get crack on?
Oh, that was really sporty. That was very sporty music.
I thought you'd like that.
I hope it was the CBS sports. Okay.
I don't know which one that is, but anyway.
If you can't find the music, just use that.
Okay. I'll just use that. That's what I'll use. Actually, I will just use that. I won't even try and do anything fake. But anyway, moving on, Josh, who we got first up? Who's first?
Okay. The number 23, which is the lowest seed. This is the true underdog. It is Courtney's. It is the artistic bathrooms, but more specifically, it is the Courtney. What is it? What's the full name of what you submitted here?
Well, I understand why people put this down at the bottom, because I don't think it 100% falls into the classification of a roadside attraction.
I don't know about that, because Craig, or I've been to this place, I believe.
You have?
Yes, because this is the place where I believe, Courtney, I don't know if you know this, that they make the toilets in Wisconsin. There's the Kohler toilets.
Yes.
I think they're there. So, this is legit. This is
it's the Kohler Art Center, and I don't know if they've proclaimed this themselves or if other people have bestowed this title upon them, but they have the world's most artistic bathrooms.
In Sheboygan, Wisconsin.
Sheboygan, Wisconsin.
I have been here, guys. I have been here, and oh my gosh, if you look at the pictures, these urinals, urinals are gorgeous.
You literally don't want to use them. You don't want to use them.
It's like the cathedral of urinals.
Yes, absolutely. And so this is the thing, Courtney, as well. This is actually technically a roadside attraction. It is on roadsideamerica.com. Is listed on as a roadside attraction.
It is.
So it is absolutely a roadside attraction. And there's other roadside attractions out there, like, for instance, Buc-ee's, who's got the world famous cleanest bathrooms, that sort of thing. So they're a roadside attraction. So this is still technically a roadside attraction. I like it.
Yes. I'll take it then. It looks like what they have done is in their art center, in their kind of like art museum area, they have taken their public restrooms, kind of given each one to a different artist and said, hey, you're working with these Kohler fixtures in the bathrooms. Do what you want with the rest. And each one has like its own theme. It has a name to it. They started out with 6 original washrooms that are in their art center, and then they have 3 newer ones that have been added to an art preserve area. So every bathroom that you go in there is its own work of art.
Wow. It is. I really like this one, Josh. I really do like this one. This is really cool. And as I said before, you have a look at the in the show notes. There's links all through the show notes as well. If you want to actually look along, just pause, have a look. Let us know as well, Josh. Let us know your thoughts and opinions too. So, do we have the what this one is up against, Josh? What's this one up against?
So again, I've been to these toilets. I've been to this bathroom. Now, I don't want to talk bad about it, but here's the thing. I only knew this was here because I decided to just check out the art museum. And then that's how I knew. There was no sign. I was like, oh, there's an art museum here. Cool. And then I was like, the lady at the front desk was like, have you seen our bathrooms? I was like, no, I haven't. She goes, our bathrooms are amazing.
They're world famous.
So,
I mean, I did put this on the list partially for Tim, my co-host, just for the whole bathroom association. I wanted a cool bathroom option Tim on the list, and this one seemed very cool.
I don't know whether Tim should be that proud to be a bathroom extraordinaire, like one who officiates bathrooms more than anything else. It's probably a little bit beyond him, to be honest with you. Anyway,
all right, we got to keep moving.
You can't slow up.
So
what's it against?
The world's most gorgeous bathrooms is going up against another attraction in Wisconsin. Can you believe it? Wisconsin versus Wisconsin, and this is in Wisconsin Dells, Wisconsin, which the whole town, you guys, the whole town is a roadside attraction. But my favorite thing, if you're driving along Interstate 94, you will see so many signs for Wisconsin Dells. But you'll see so many signs for this, and that is the Wisconsin Dells Duck Tours.
Oh.
Have you ever heard of the Duck Tour?
Yes, and we do have these in Australia as well. Yes, we do. Yeah, we do.
Cool. Courtney, have you been on the duck tours?
This is one I have definitely been to many times.
So if you don't know what they are, these are World War II amphibious vehicles. They're, they're from the war. Get this, they're vehicles that can go on the road, and then they also turn into boats.
Down into they literally drive into the water, and the wheels float off the bottom of and then they float all the way through. And they're what's the name? They're motors kick in, and they motor off from there. So very cool indeed.
So it's a vehicle and a boat, and they're so funny that they have these funny college guides that it's their college job, and they have stupid cheesy jokes the whole time.
Like the one in the Disney, what's it called, in Universal Studios or Disneyland, whatever it's called, when Trey that Rob's son does that as well on the tour, the tour guide. Yeah.
Oh yeah,
Jungle
the Jungle
Tour.
Tour.
That's the one. Jungle Boat Tours. Yes.
But this is different than the Jungle Boat Tour because this is real. Like it's real beauty. That Wisconsin River is all amazing, like rock formations. And then when you're in the land, there's actual trails for the ducks, and you go through these narrow passageways. And you mentioned the splashdown. They go down the hill really fast, and they just splash down into the water. And then this is the cheese factor. Maybe you remember this, Courtney.
Wait.
You're like, you think you're
the cheese factor for Wisconsin.
Yeah, he did. He did.
You think you're done with the tour, and then all of a sudden the tour guide pulls the vehicle to the side and brings out all these postcards, and you are held hostage to buy these postcards from this college student. And that's basically how they get their tips. They hand them out, and then they're like, if you want them, you can keep them for free, but you have to make sure you tip me. So it's been around since 1946. It is a must do if you're at the Dells, the Wisconsin Dells Duck Tour.
Okay.
That's my submission.
Okay, there we go. So Josh, who are you voting for if that's the case?
I am voting for the duck tours. I've done both.
And Courtney, who are you voting for?
No. One of them is mine. I think you need to vote next.
No. Because Josh votes, and then the two people they need to vote because Josh may have swayed you, and then my vote doesn't even matter. So, what's your vote, Courtney? Which one are you going
for? The duck tour because Wisconsin Dells is a tourist location in it of itself. But I think if you're going to do a short list of things that you have to do in the Dells, that duck tour. Yes. You should just do it.
You missed out, Courtney. I was going with the bathrooms. I was going to go with the bathrooms.
And that would have been the wrong choice.
No.
Because you haven't done it. You haven't done it. Courtney and I have done it.
Because a definition of roadside attraction. This is a tour, not a roadside attraction. That was
It is a roadside attraction because of all the signs
it doesn't matter.
that direct
you. You got through, Josh. It doesn't matter. Let's move on.
All right. Next one. I'm going to tell you what it's up against. So it's going to be 22 versus 11.
Oh.
22 is yours, Craig.
Yes, it is.
22 is the paper house, which I almost submitted as one of mine. The paper house in where is it, Craig? Is it in
I'm screaming
New Jersey?
Now through the No. The paper house is in Rockport, Massachusetts. This is in Rockport, Massachusetts.
I knew it was out there.
So
can I tell you who it's against first?
Yes, of course.
I'm going to tell you.
Yeah.
And then against number 11, which is also me, which is the giant president heads. Outside of
Josh, you're killing me.
Outside of where is it? Outside of Williamsburg, Virginia.
Courtney, before we even get any further on through this, we've got to say this right now, and that is Josh can't have the top 5 in this March Madness this year. Okay, he can't have the top 5, so we've got to go against.
You swore, Craig.
We've got to go against.
You swore that you're going to pick the ones that you like the best. You swore.
All right, I'll start then. The paper house in Rockport, Massachusetts. It is actually a house. The entire house is actually made from newspaper, including the furniture as well. It was built in 1920s, and it was created by Ellis Steinman. It was a mechanical engineer. It features the walls, as I said before, the furniture, even the decorative elements. Even the elements were made from layers of glued together newspaper, not cardboard, not just random piece of newspaper itself. The structure is insulated with the newspaper, so that's the reason why he did it. Is he thought the newspaper would make actually good insulation for the house itself, and it also at the same time he wanted to recycle. So he's back in the 1920s, Josh, and already he's thinking green in regards to recycling. And what can it do? Because you think about it. Where does newspaper come from? Trees. What also builds houses? Trees. So it's the same. So that is my submission, Josh, is the newspaper house.
It is pretty cool. Yeah. I would like to visit it someday. I saw pictures. I saw videos of it. It was great. However, the giant president's heads, which is also it's a lost place. So it's near Williamsburg, Virginia. And there used to be in Yorktown, Virginia, there was a place called President's Park where they put these gigantic heads of presidents in the park. Well, they couldn't keep it up, so they actually had to get rid of them, and they put them in like a dump, basically like a place outside of town where somebody bought them. And get this, these heads weigh 10,000 pounds each.
Oh wow,
amazing! And they're just like, if you see pictures of it, they're just randomly just in a field out there. The park closed in 2010, and then they moved it to the property in 2015. So it's been out there for only 10 years. And I think it's like once a month they open it up. People can get tickets online. I looked into it because I was like, oh my gosh, might be close to Geo Woodstock. Maybe we can visit it. But you go to the website, you can get tickets. I think it's like $30. But it looks like it is so worth it. It's quirky, fun. It's a little creepy. It's a little bit like, it kind of looks like, because the heads are deteriorating. Okay. The back of Lincoln's head is like crumbling apart, which is kind of weird if you think about it. That's really weird.
So I've got a couple of questions, Josh. You did say before that this is only open certain periods of time. Yeah. What was the time frame again? I was actually watching through.
They're open once a month. They open it up
once a month, Courtney. Once a month. If you're driving past this and it's closed, if you got a 1 in 30 chance of actually having that experience if you're driving past as a roadside attraction. I'm just putting that out there too, Josh. See what I'm doing?
If I'm making a video, this is so video worthy.
Oh, it is.
The paper house is cool.
It is.
Wow.
This paper house is open like all the time too. So just saying. So.
Yeah.
Anyway. Did you want to get a start on the votes straight away?
I will vote I'm voting for the president heads.
I am voting for the paper house only because of the other. I would have voted for the paper heads, except the once a month is just too. I'd rather be like driving past it and then be able to get out and do some photos from there. So
what if you're driving past it and it's open?
You hit the one time a month.
Exactly. I'm a 1 a month guy. So exactly. So, but I'm still going for the paper house. So it's up to you.
Courtney, you see the picture. You see the picture in the show notes.
You see the picture of the paper house. I mean, how many years this guy did the paper house?
I see the picture. Well, I see the picture. I would be really super sad if I couldn't stop and like enjoy it in person.
Yeah.
I wouldn't like that.
I love how
but wouldn't you be so happy when you could, like if you had to choose, if they were both open?
Now he's changing the rules. Courtney, you can't have splinters. You can't have splinters in your backside here. You can't be a fence sitter. It's the one side or the other, and there's no wrong answers. Okay, there is no wrong answers. I won't mind if you pick his, but he will mind if you pick mine. I'm just saying so.
Oh my gosh, this is so hard.
Yeah, we told you. We warned you.
The once a month thing is really hard.
I'll be honest with everyone out there as well.
You have to plan that.
100%. If this was like even 5 days a week, I would have gone for this, within a heartbeat, absolute heartbeat. But it's the once a month that kills me.
But it just tells you how special it is. They don't want people just wandering around. I believe it used to be open. People would just show up. It used to be open. Yeah. And people would be like, and basically they were trespassing. So they were like, okay, people are trespassing. We got to make this official. Let's open it up to the public.
Yep. No, that's fair enough. And you think about two people being people, they'd be jumping all over it. It'd be crumbling down. People don't look after this sort of stuff either for photos, for Instagram. So
right. And if you drove by it, I would stop anyway. And I would be like, hey, I know you're not open. Could I just get a couple pictures? And
from the outside. From the outside.
You never know. I could talk my way into anything.
Yeah, I know. Including,
I couldn't get into the duct tape factory. Remember that?
Including Courtney's mind right now. So, Courtney, it's up to you. Which one are you going for? The paper house?
I'm going with the paper house, but it's really only because of availabilibility.
Yes.
That is a big upset. That's 22 and 11.
That is an upset, but there's a reason for the upset. It's like in the real March Madness, Josh, when the actual point guard, the heavy hitting point guard, like twists his ankle halfway through the game. That's what it was like. That wasn't predictable. See, so
if I see a sign that says "cool attraction" here, and I go to the cool attraction, and then I can't actually go do it or see it.
Yeah. See? Good point. It is a good point, Josh. You must admit that. So anyway, moving on. Who have we got next, Josh?
All right. The next one is, I believe, you versus me, Craig. Another matchup. It's 21.
Yeah.
21, which is
the
Monkey Island.
Yeah.
Crystal River Monkey Island in Homosassa, Florida.
Yeah.
Homosassa.
Monkey Island. Yeah.
Yes. And against this will be a tough one. Against the blue whale of Casatusa in Casatusa, Oklahoma.
This is an easy one for me. Did you want to start off saying yours is seated lower, Josh?
Sure. I'll start.
Go ahead.
So this is an island where you can kayak. This is what is really cool about it. This is an adventure. Mm-hmm. And a lot of the ones I picked, I wanted them to be kind of experiential, like interactive in some way. Mm-hmm. So this is actually an island that you can rent a kayak or bring a kayak to, and you kayak to this island. And this island has like 5 monkeys on it that you could just check out and just like see. They're stuck on this island, and it's like basically you float to a little island that's a zoo.
Wait, are they like behind barriers, or can they come up?
No. They're just free roaming. They're on the island. They're captive, I think, on the island. They can't swim off of it, but they're just free roaming on this island. It's a small island, so you can actually, when you float up to it, you can actually see the monkeys all over on this island. I just thought it was super cool that and interactive. So
you can go
what if
one scratches or bites you, and then you become, what's it called, the victim one?
Well, here's the thing. You can't go on the island. You have to stay. You have to stay in your boat.
Oh, that makes sense. And so you float around.
How can I have the monkeys if I have to stay in the boat?
Yeah, you can't touch the monkeys. You can't touch the monkeys.
You can't touch them.
No.
That's why I was asking if they were behind barriers. I was thinking the monkeys are going to come up and be like, "Hey, high five."
Yeah. I mean, I wonder how close you can get. But they're cute monkeys. They're caption monkeys.
Yeah.
And you can watch them play and interact from the boats or from the dock.
Okay.
Actually, so and it's a beautiful area. The Homosassa Springs Wildlife State Park is right there. Great for families, relaxed, family friendly, and educational. So that's my entry. Yep. Crystal River Monkey Island.
Okay, makes sense. But mine, Josh, is an OG. It is an original roadside attraction. This one here was part of the original Route 66. It actually is officially has a Route 66 roadside attraction original sign out the front. It's whimsical. It is a blue whale, like a huge blue whale. It is halfway in the water, halfway out of the water. People used to stop there all the time because I'm talking 1970s. This was built itself as well. So back in the 1970s, people used to stop there as part of the Route 66 route and have a picnic, etc. as well. And then after that, they then stop people from going on it because, as always, just like your one, Josh, as well, people start ruining things as well. So you can't actually swim there anymore and you can't go on it. But it is 80 foot long. He is smiling with a big, wide smile. He does still have a slide and a diving platform, but as I said, you can't actually use it anymore because it is falling into disrepair. And then locals, Josh, restored it. And then today, it remains a quirky, photo-worthy stop for travelers for the Mother Road, and I've been there. I've got a video on it. I've got photos of it too. So I've been there. It is officially a roadside attraction, an original roadside attraction. One of
And there's a geocache there.
There is.
Which is pretty cool.
An ammo can, a big ammo can too. So they're the two, Josh. I'm proudly going to say I'm voting for the blue whale over the monkeys any day of the week. What about you?
Yeah, it's tough. This is a tough matchup. I'm going to vote for yours. I'm voting for the blue whale. Yeah. It is the epitome of a roadside attraction. I've never been there, but I've wanted to be there. I actually gave Minnesota Boy a hard time because we got close to it. And I was like, Tim, let's go to the blue whale. And he's like, Josh, we don't want to go to the blue.
No.
I was like, no, you don't understand. We got to go to the blue whale. He's like, no, we're not going.
Wow.
And so then now he regrets it after he's seen pictures and videos of it.
Wow.
So
there we go. Well, Courtney's excited because now she doesn't have to even.
I don't have to vote.
She doesn't have to vote. So she's super
You can vote, but you have to vote because
you still have to vote.
It's good to know if it's because this might influence later.
That's true. That's true. Is it a three-way? Is it a three-way, or do you think the monkeys outweigh the original roadside attraction of the big blue whale on Route 66?
You can't go against the OG.
There we go. I knew it. Just quickly as well, Josh, you ready for this? My visit to this attraction was accidental. It was just literally along the roadside. And as I was driving past, I saw the sign for it ahead, blue whale. And I remember talking to you about it and talking to Tim. And I went, what, the blue whale? Is that here? I didn't even know it was there. So for me, Josh, this was a true roadside attraction. I didn't even know it was there until I came upon it. So yes.
That's like last year when I came upon the Cabazon dinosaurs, the Pee Wee Herman dinosaurs.
Right.
I knew about them, but I drove by them. I'm like, oh my gosh, it's them.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, exactly. All right, what do we got next, Josh? What do we have next?
All right. This one is going to be Courtney versus the patrons.
Oh, we got a patron one.
Oh no.
Oh yes.
So number 20 is Gorilla holding a VW bug.
It's that one.
Where I don't know. Is that Vermont? I think it's in Vermont.
Yeah.
I think so. Against the Museum of Bad Art, which Craig, we've talked about on our museum episode.
We did. Absolutely did. Exactly. Well, Josh, do you want me to talk about the which one's seated lower?
The lower seat is the gorilla holding.
Okay, well, I'll talk about the gorilla first. So it's actually in Leicester, Vermont, Josh, this one. It's Queen Connie Gorilla and the Beetle. And this gorilla itself is, I'm going to say roughly, it's going to be around 2 stories high, including the bug itself. It's standing up, the gorilla's standing up, and he's got one hand directly up in the air, not even bending at the elbow, and there's a real actual Volkswagen Beetle on top of his hand. The other hand is facing low and down, but is cupped up. And so a lot of people, when they stop here, they get photos. It's a huge photo opportunity. They get photos of it actually sitting on his hand and with the V-dub above their head. So that is it from there. It was done in 1987 by a guy called Neil, and he's got some other stuff around the area as well. But in Leicester, Vermont, it is. So Queen Connie, Gorilla, and Beetle. So that's what it is.
This is yours, Courtney.
Oh,
yeah.
I'm kind of excited about this one.
Museum of Bad Art.
The Museum of Bad Art. So
it's in Boston, Massachusetts.
It's inside a brewery in Boston, Massachusetts.
That's cool.
Look at that.
Yeah. So now we know why you actually picked it. So tell us more about this one here.
So it is dedicated to the collection, exhibition, and celebration of art that would not be welcomed in a traditional art museum. So they are artistic pieces of work. It's not just that somebody drew like a stick figure and tossed it up on a wall and said, admire my art. They do find a way of saying like, this is sincerely art that has gone wrong in some kind of compelling way that still makes it interesting to look at. It's just a little weird. A
little weird and a little quirky. We did feature this one, Courtney, on a couple of episodes ago now when we were talking about our weird, quirky museums across the US, and this one featured in that as well. And so if anyone listened to that show and looked at the photos from that, they'll see exactly what you're talking about. But yeah, apparently it was started because some guy found some art in some rubbish dump or a what do you call it, like a garbage truck or whatever, and then decided to collect it and put it up. I think that's the reason how it started. So that's really cool.
Yeah, they've been around since 1994 in a variety of different places. And right now they're in the Dorchester Brewing Company in Boston.
Wow. And it's at a brewery too, so that's up there too, Josh. What do you think?
I'm looking at some of the bad art. There's one picture that is called The Ugliest Portrait of John F. Kennedy. It's just him eating an ice cream cone and his face is just all crunched up.
Yeah.
So
I know.
All right,
very
let's
clever.
vote.
All right, so Courtney, you decide first. Who are you going to vote for first?
Well, I'm voting for my own because I really want to go there and have a beer and walk around admiring bad art.
No, that's fair enough. Josh, you're up next. What are you thinking?
I'm going to the Museum of Bad Art because I would say the gorilla is also bad art, but it's just one. It's just one thing. This is a lot of bad things.
So the more the better for Josh. So, but patrons, if you're listening out there, and especially I can't remember who selected this. So one of our patrons just actually selected this too. Remember, patrons selected this. I would have voted for the gorilla because I feel like it is actually like again a real roadside attraction where you drive up upon it and go, "What the hell is this?" And I'm going to go stop and I'm going to get a photo. You can sit in the gorilla's hand and get a photo. So for our patrons out there, don't worry, I've got your back, even though Josh doesn't, but that's okay. So all right, Josh, you've got that one down now. So that is the Museum of Bad Art has beaten the gorilla holding the Volkswagen. Who have you got up next, mate? Who's up next?
All right, this is fascinating.
Yeah.
We got 19 versus 14.
Oh.
19 is the Monster Mart.
And who owns that one?
Which is some sort of
That's mine.
art or some sort of market or something.
Yep.
This is Courtney's. Against the Unclaimed Baggage Center.
What the? And whose is that one? Whose is that
That's
one?
Mine.
Oh, no. Okay. So which is the higher rated one out of those two?
The higher rated one is the Unclaimed Baggage Center. So the Monster Mart has to go first.
Yeah, Monster Mart goes first. So away you go, Courtney. Monster Mart. Give us your details.
The Monster Mart is in Folk. I think I'm pronouncing it right. Folk, Arkansas.
Mm-hmm.
There was a docudrama horror movie that came out in 1972 that was about a monster in that area that looked kind of like a big Sasquatch, essentially. So they did this docudrama with all of these fake interviews and news articles and like this monster that's been terrorizing the area. So now there is a Monster Mart that is kind of dedicated to the legend of this creature. And they're selling like memorabilia things and just a funny little place to stop.
Very, very cool. I'm looking at it now, and yeah, it's exactly what it is. It's a big actual market area, but it's all dedicated to like Bigfoot sort of style. So if you're a Bigfoot fan, because I know there's people out there, then this is your place to stop. I mean, let alone you got the Bigfoot on top of the roof there with the big Monster Mart sign, and then inside you can even do, Josh, those wooden cardboard, or not cardboard, the wooden cutouts where you put your face in the middle. You can get those ones done too, where you can put your face, or get your kids, put your kids in the faces there, and do those good photos for the kids as well. So it looks actually really, really cool to see, and it'd be a fun place to visit and go inside. Lots of trinkets as well, lots of souvenirs to buy too. Again, if you're part of that fan club, that Bigfoot fan club, Josh, then this would be a place for you. All right, Josh, what's your one now? What's one? Again?
Well, first of all, I want to say, Courtney, have you ever been to Treasure City in Minnesota?
No.
It looks like Treasure City, which is just all this random weird stuff. Anyway, mine is also down in the South. It is the Unclaimed Baggage Center in Scottsboro, Alabama. It is called the Ultimate Treasure Hunt, where they have all kinds of lost airline luggage for sale. Surprises. People that have lost their luggage and they don't claim it. It goes to this store, and you can go there and you can actually shop there. And it's not just junk. I mean, when you lose something, I mean, they had some luxury items. They have some designer brands, electronics. There's weird and wacky things. There's some rare things in there. There's actually a museum of really amazing things that they found, like a basketball signed by Michael Jordan, all this sort of stuff. You can watch live unboxings. So you can sit down and they have like a suitcase or whatever that has just come in, and they open it in front of the crowd to have them watch what was in somebody's lost luggage. So they don't even know. It's kind of like, I don't know, I unearthing like a geocache. It's like a surprise every time. So it's like a thrift shop mixed with a treasure hunt, mixed with a museum. the Unclaimed Baggage
Do
Center.
they do like Storage Wars style where they show you like, this is the suitcase, we're not going to tell you what's inside, and you can fit on it?
Yeah, that's what it is. That's what it is. That's exactly what it is.
Yeah, that's exactly what
it is.
They don't open.
They don't open them.
No,
I thought you were shopping individual items.
No,
you can do that too.
Okay.
There's stuff that is open, but they actually have you can watch stuff being opened.
Literally unclaimed
Storage Wars.
Storage Wars sort of style. Exactly. I'm looking at it through as we speak as well. And again, I will say that actually, no. Sorry. Firstly, Josh, who are you voting for in regards to this? What these two?
I know what you're going to say. You're going to say, "Oh, Courtney's is more of a roadside attraction." Although,
I'm saying
I know for a fact.
Who are you voting for, Josh?
Well, I'm just saying this for a fact. This has signs. This is an attraction. People will be drawn towards it. They'll drive by it on an interstate and say, "I want to go to the Unclaimed Baggage Center." I'm picking the Unclaimed Baggage Center.
And Courtney, what about you?
Okay, this is really difficult because I did see that and thought about putting it on my list.
Oh, so you did research as well.
But I'm going to stick with my Monster Mart this time, and I'm going to put you in the uncomfortable position of having to pick.
Yes, that's fine. And I am quite uncomfortable with this one. And I will say this, right? In making my decision, I do look at both. I look at both on the internet. I look at both as terms of what's a roadside attraction. Josh, I had patrons come up to me at Bamarama, patrons, more than one, and talk to me at length in regards to what is their version of a roadside attraction. Now, if I was to not look at all at photos and just go off what you two say, then I would have automatically picked Courtney's, because Courtney's sounds more like an actual roadside attraction. There's the the Bigfoot itself is at the front, and it is very quirky sort of style. There's little trinkets, etc. But yours, Josh, is not. I'll repeat this: is not just a warehouse. There's actually things where at the front where you can get photos taken, you see. So you can actually take photos and selfies with an actual big luggage, like a big suitcase out the front that says unclaimed baggage.
I forgot to mention that.
For me, see, I do my research too. And as I said before, I am fair, Josh. And so for that reason, and that reason alone, I am picking Josh, because I like the idea and the geocaching feel to this one, but that wouldn't have got me over the edge, except for that big luggage out the front, which is its own little roadside attraction you can get a photo with. See, I'm a photo guy.
I'm not mad about it.
I'm a photo guy. I like having photos as memories with these places you go to. So there you go. Josh is happy now too, because you beat Courtney for once. So that's good. So what do we got next, Josh? Which one we got next? Come on.
All right.
Let's go.
We've got 18 versus 15. 18 is yours. It's Hole in Rock, I believe in Utah.
Yes.
Against patrons, number 15, which is the Check Egg in Wilson, Kansas.
Wow.
How do you feel about going up against the patrons?
I know. Well, I will go up against the patrons on this one. Like I said before, I'm going to be fair. All right, this one's called Hole in the Rock. It's in Moab, Utah. And Josh, I have been there, except I didn't actually stop. I didn't stop. I didn't realize what it was. So as I was driving up, it's actually a big hole in the rock. And it says on the big side of the rock, hole in the rock. And I thought to myself, oh, yep, I can see there's a hole in the rock under that. I had a laugh to myself, and that was it. I kept driving. And the reason for it is because I was driving south at the time, and you got to go around the corner, and then I would have missed the turn, because the turn itself is on the left, and I kind of missed the turn. I didn't see what it was about. But it is 5,000 square foot home. It is carved into a massive sandstone rock. It was built in 1940s, and with it as well, there's all hand carved furniture inside. Now you can go in. It is a quirky roadside attraction. It has a small zoo. It has souvenirs. It has art. It has engineering. Now, and this is why I'm really kicking myself for not stopping, and I will stop next time. It features all these small little, I call them punny, sculptures around. So, for instance, there's a giant lizard. It's a lizardscape sculpture done out of metal and stone, etc. as well. There's a huge rocking chair, because it's a chair made of rock, so it's classed as a rocking chair. There's a 2-story outhouse, like a 2-story toilet, and it's the miners are on the ground floor, but then the miner's boss is above them. You see, so it's so he's pooping on the ones below. There's a jailhouse rock, and that, in other words, there's quite a football-sized rock that's literally in a jail in the middle of, like, you can trip over it. Like, it's called jailhouse rock. So things like that, Josh. A UFO. There's a mad UFO just sitting there as well. There's a metal flying saucer. So for me, I am kicking myself because it is very punny. It is a very cool roadside attraction. It is really cool to actually get photos in several locations around, and you probably could spend an easy hour, 2 hours getting all the stuff here at the Hole in the Rock. So that's where it is, Moab in Utah.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I guess I will go through the check egg, which we've talked about in the last episode.
Yeah.
And do we have the notes from that, Craig? I don't see them in our show notes.
No. Because
you didn't put them.
No, I didn't put them in there. So you got to look it up.
Okay. I'll go off memory. This is literally in the middle of Kansas.
Mm-hmm.
It is what you think it is. It is a gigantic egg, beautifully decorated in the Czechoslovakian. Thank you. Oh, that was a hard one to get out.
Teamwork.
Style of art.
Yep.
It has a beautiful like canopy over it to protect it.
Mm-hmm.
It is, I think it's like over 20 feet tall.
Yeah.
It is a sight to behold. Certainly a roadside attraction. I mean, it is the world's largest Czech egg. I don't know if it's the world's largest egg, but it's the world's largest Czech egg.
Exactly.
And it's art.
Mm-hmm.
It's also epic. It's a great photo opportunity.
Mm-hmm.
There's a lot of history behind it. It represents the history of the area, of the people that immigrated over here to Wilson, Kansas, and it's on the way to Mingo.
Yeah,
that's another thing for geocachers.
That's true.
So
Josh he's chucking it all in there. I will say, and as I said before, I am very, very honest, and that is, I feel personally, I am voting for the Hole in the Rock only for the simple reason is the amount of things that you can see, do, photograph, etc. But the check egg, for me, it comes a very, very close second place because, as you said before, it is the world's largest thing. It is a really cool looking item, but it is just literally one item. So, they are both technically roadside attractions. They're both on roads that you drive past, that sort of thing as well. But I'm still going for the Hole in the Rock, Josh, for that reason.
I have a question before I vote.
Yes.
Is this rock, I'm looking at the picture, is it like a fake rock that you go inside of the rock? It's a real rock.
It's a real rock, like a real monolith rock, like actually a real monolith rock. So they had
and there's stuff just built around it?
Yeah, built around it itself. So you can probably see from the photo that I put in the show notes, you see it says Hole in the Rock. And this is my problem. This is the only problem I have with it. I was coming from the wrong direction. And so I saw that Hole in the Rock sign, but it was smaller on the other side. And I saw literally a hole in the rock. I went, oh yeah, Hole in the Rock, that's funny. That's it. Kept driving. Unbeknownst to me, I went around the corner and it's on the other side of the rock. If I had been coming north instead of south, I would have absolutely stopped there because I would have seen it all. It's all on the ground, but you can actually go inside because the house, the rock house itself is actually on the inside. But it is a real rock, monolith rock. So yeah, it's an earth cache too. There we go. I'm giving that to the.
You're calling him in.
I'm looking at it. There is a little house built into the rock too. Yeah, it's really cool.
Yep, that's what it is. 5,000 square foot.
I'm good. Should I vote, or do you want Courtney to vote?
No, you vote next because you did the check egg.
I'm doing Hole in Rock.
Oh,
it looks really cool. I really want to visit this place. It is a roadside attraction. It's really quirky.
Yes.
It's funny.
Yes.
It's punny.
Yes.
Hole in Rock.
And the jailhouse rock. Courtney, who would you have voted for out of those two?
I was also going to do Hole in Rock. Again, because I had looked at that and thought about putting it on my list, and I think I might have had it on like the first draft of my list, and it got cut somehow. But really, I don't know that it should have been cut because it looks really cool.
Yeah. I mean, as I said, and for me, I'm seriously kicking myself because I literally drove past it. So there we go.
Well,
all right, Josh.
You'll get back.
I know. I will absolutely. Well, what have we got next, Josh? What have we got next? That was
all right. This is going to be
the closest to so far to me personally.
Okay. Yeah. Speaking of close, this next one is 16 versus 17.
16
doesn't get any closer than that. This is a real toss up.
I don't want to vote on this.
We've got 17.
I can tell you already.
Number 17 is Enchanted Forest Park in Oregon against number 16, Beer Can House in Houston, Texas.
Oh, no. So who's got the Enchanted? Beer Can House is mine. Who's got the Enchanted?
Yeah, Enchanted Forest is mine. It is 17. It is the lower seed, so I will talk about Enchanted Forest Park.
Yeah, you do.
Okay. I had to watch a YouTube video. Once I watched the YouTube video, if you have a chance, just click on it. This this really is a place that I want to visit. It's a really cheesy. Think of Wish or Temu version of Walt Disney World. Basically, it is so kitschy. Mm-hmm. It is basically like an amusement park, but it's very like downscale, cheesy. So it has storybook characters. You can walk through fairy tales. You can go explore Cinderella's castle, Alice's rabbit hole. There's rides. So there's a bobsled coasters that goes through like a mountain. It has a log flume. It has a laser blaster dark ride, a spooky haunted house filled with weird, quirky animatronics and jump scares. Interactive and hands-off. You can climb and crawl through things. It's in a beautiful forest. Like the setting's actually beautiful. It's actually in the Oregon lush hillside. Mm-hmm. So it's in a beautiful location. The people know about this because there's just cheesy sign after cheesy sign as you make your way towards the Enchanted Forest Park in Oregon.
Now, Josh, one question I got before I start with mine. Technically, is this a theme park?
Yeah, yes, it is, but it's only open like during like I think the summer months. Oh, so it's very like the Wisconsin Ducks.
If you're driving Wisconsin Ducks during the winter, then you can't even visit. So just saying. Anyway, I'm going to move on to mine.
But it's open more than one day, Craig.
Courtney picked up exactly what I was putting down.
Yeah.
No, Josh, I'll start this one here, the Beer Can House. Now, the Beer Can House is located in Houston, Texas. This is exactly where I am right now as we record this podcast and where I've been for the last week. Now, Josh, I'd had to do some research for this show, and the Beer Can House in Houston was on my list. I looked at it itself, and then as I drove into Houston, I picked up our good friend Rob Vardaman, who's the president of Muncie, as we said before. Him and I, Josh, we visited this exact roadside attraction last week. It was a personal museum where you can walk in through the house. The house is open from 5 days a week, open 5 days a week. It is purely
Wait,
sponsored.
You're saying that it closes sometimes? It actually closes? I don't know. What if I'm driving by and it's closed, Craig?
Sometimes. You can still get photos at the front because there's lots of moving parts at the front. And Josh, I will say this. When you come to Houston next week, you and I'm taking you there. Now, I'll take you kicking and screaming. Even if you go, you know what, Craig, I don't want to see it. I don't want to see it. I'm so angry that I picked it and I don't want to see it. I'm still going to take you kicking and screaming to see it because this house itself is adorned with over 50,000 beer cans. It's been transformed into a shimmering art piece. The owner itself, over 2 decades long. There was a husband and wife. Now, the wife used to, and I got this firsthand from the museum curator. The wife used to go off to work, and that's when he would do all his work behind the scenes without her even knowing. He would actually cut out the tin cans, so he'd collect them all. He'd put them all up in the attic. She didn't even know they were up there until the attic was almost caving in, and she's like, what's up there? He's like, oh, they're my cans. What are you collecting those for? He said originally, again, it was for like the thermal insulation on the house. So he'd cut them up and he'd flatten them out. So he'd keep the top and he'd keep the bottom and he'd keep the ring pulls. And he'd flatten them out and he'd put them all along the actual house, the flat part all along the house, all the layers. The top and the bottom, he would then, and the ring pulls, he would then put them together like a wind chimes going down the sides of the house from the awnings, and they chime in the wind. Any little bit of wind swaying, and you can hear them from a mile away. So his name is John Micklesvich. I really killed that, but he's from the 1960s itself. The entire house is in flattened beer cans, bottle caps, pull tabs. It is a shimmering, wind-chiming masterpiece that reflects his love for beer, creativity, and is now actually preserved by the Orange Show Center. So it is an absolute masterpiece. You'll see it when you get there, Josh. You can go inside, so it is actually technically a museum, and it is kept open 5 days a week for anyone who wants to go and see it. I even bought the T-shirt. Josh, I bought a T-shirt while I was there. So, yes, that is it there, the Beer Can House. And, again, we can ask our good friend Rob Vardaman what his thoughts were of it too. So,
wow, you've talked about that a long time.
One more thing. It's free. The entry is free too. So, free entry for the museum. So, yeah, there you go.
All right. And I think you're pandering to our brewery podcast friend, by the way.
It is. It is sponsored by the local brewery, so it is free for all entry because the local brewery actually pay for the curators and that too. So, look at that. So there we go. Josh, who are you voting for?
I am voting for the beer can house. I'm voting for yours, Craig.
Thank you.
Again,
thank you.
On my honor, I picked the one I'd rather. If I had to choose, it's basically for me. This is how I pick it. If I had to choose which one I'd rather do, that's the one I'd rather go.
And you will see it, Josh, too. When you come fly in on Thursday, you and I, we're going to see this together, and you're going to look and you're going to go, Craig, I can see why you're so proud. You're proud of this house. So I obviously picked the beer can house. And Courtney, what about you?
Since you both picked the beer can house, I can safely and not feel bad about saying I'm picking the Enchanted Forest.
Shoot.
Oh, wow. Gosh. Wow. Tim is going to be so disappointed in you, Courtney.
I might be disappointed in myself because the beer can house looks so cool and I would go there in a heartbeat, and I'm going to be really upset when you guys are there and like experience and all that. But the Enchanted Forest is like everything I want in life. Mm-hmm. It reminds me. So Josh, in the Dells, there was a place that was called Storybook Gardens. And this reminds me a little bit about that, where you've got all these storybook fable kinds of themes and everything going on. It just looks so cute. And it's in Oregon, in the forest.
Wow.
Yes. Oregon is a great place to visit. Yeah. It's one of my favorite states is Oregon.
Yeah.
Yes. Yeah. It's funny that, Courtney, you mentioned the Storybook Gardens in Wisconsin Dells. When I was a child, we visited there, and my brother accidentally turned on one of the sprinklers and got little Bo Peep completely wet and cussed out my brother. He was 5 years old. Little Bo Peep cussed out my brother.
Like that.
She broke character. My parents were so mad they got the money back.
Wow.
Isn't that funny?
That's wild.
Yeah,
wow.
That's funny.
Wow. One thing I will say that's probably a negative to the beer can house, and that is with a little bit of wind, I would not want to be their neighbors. And they have plenty of neighbors around, like new condo sort of neighbors around that. It's a lot of noise. It's a lot of noise in the wind.
You did a really good job selling it, Craig. You did a great job selling it.
Thank you. They're going to be proud because they'll listen. They'll listen to the show too. I'll say that too. So, all right. Next one. What do we have next, Josh? Are we finished with round ones?
We are now. Yeah, we are now done with round one. Now we're in the round two bracket, but we do have one more competition that is two that we have not talked about yet, and that is 9 versus 8. 9 versus 8. How close is that? Number nine. Wyoming, Wisconsin's House on the Rock. Ooh. Okay. Against number 8, Mystery Spot, which I believe is yours, Craig. I believe that is in California.
Mine. Yeah, Mystery Spot's mine. Oh, wow.
So the lower seed is House on the Rock.
House on the Rock is Spring Green, Wisconsin.
Go ahead, Courtney. Talk about House on the Rock.
And you're up against me, Courtney.
And
so good luck.
Well, this is another. I regrettably have never been to House on the Rock. I feel like it is a place that everybody in Wisconsin goes to at some point, and I've never been, and it's ridiculous. I need to just go there. It is this amazing house that is built up on this rock, and the research that I was doing for it, I've never looked into this before, but apparently there was a guy, Alex, and he had some kind of discussion with Frank Lloyd Wright where he was idolizing Frank Lloyd Wright and showed him some plans that he had to build a house. And Frank Lloyd Wright said, I wouldn't hire you to design a cheese grate or a chicken coop. You're not capable. So he took that and ran with it and said, I'm going to put up a Japanese style house on the pinnacle of these rocks and advertise it and make it this whole big thing. This might be a true story. It might not be a true story. But it seems like a fun story.
It's always a fun story. And Josh, we talk about a lot of fun stories on this podcast too.
I would recommend anybody look up on YouTube House on the Rock from Wisconsin. Inside this place is insane. Wow. It is like the weirdest stuff that you could ever think. It's kind of like a nightmare.
Oh.
Like if you were having a nightmare and like a really weird nightmare, that's what it's like walking through this place. Well, it is. I have never visited myself, but the YouTube videos,
let's go.
I have almost visited it.
Let's go.
But I've ran out of time. I know. House on the Rock is.
So
everybody
there's an
talks
infinity
about it
room
around
that
here.
extends like just out in the air, 218 feet over this beautiful scenic valley, and it's got 3,000 pieces of glass on it. And it also, since I know you guys like this kind of thing, it also has the world's largest indoor carousel.
What?
269 animals.
It's wild.
20,000 lights, 182 chandeliers. Like it's a whole thing. You can do all these different tours of the house. There's 3 different kinds of tours. You can do like phase 1, you could do phase 1 and 2, you could do phase 1, 2, and 3. You've got options. You can see everything. You can see just a little bit.
Yeah.
Well,
yeah, you have to like have 3 hours to get through this. I've been told
to get through all of it.
To get through all of it.
Well, in saying that though, I think these two are not only close matchup in terms of seeding, but they're close matchup in terms of what they actually are as well. I'm not sure if you guys have heard of the mystery spot in Santa Cruz, California. It's the same type of thing. Like it's an actual house and village area, but this one here, it is a gravitational anomaly, which basically means is that you can't see things the way they normally are. So things will roll uphill along this particular building. So it's a phenomenon. So it changes your whole perception of physics and reality. It is listed one of the most famous roadside attractions in the US. Since 1940, visitors have been baffled by its unusual stature itself and all the objects appearing, especially rolling uphill. That's the biggest thing they have is rolling uphill. But they also have a guide which stands people, because I watched the video for it. A guide will stand people along a house, and all of a sudden they'll swap out with the 2 edge people, and all of a sudden one person grows and the other one gets shorter. Like, how can people grow and get shorter instantaneously? And that's what happens. So it's the same sort of thing here in terms of your house style. Like it's a weird looking house, but great for photos as well. You can basically almost stand on a 45-degree angle, Josh, on a chair inside this house. And you're and you're not falling over. You're actually standing straight up, but you're actually on the 45 still. So it's very, very fun. It's very much a mystery. There's lots of YouTube videos out there on this one too. And a mind-bending experience. So this is going to be a hard one to decide.
Is it though? I feel like there's a lot of mystery spots. There's mystery spots in Wisconsin Dells where you just were.
This is true. Wisconsin Dells has the exact same thing, where it's built. All it is, I mean, it is cool. I'll just say it is cool. It's funny.
Right.
But the houses are built in a way. It's using gravity. It's using gravity to make it
house
look
on
weird.
the rock. Let's move on. Next.
The Midwest ganged up on the Aussie.
Yeah, my vote is house. My vote is house on the rock.
Put the house on the rock through. Easy done. Next one we have.
Sorry.
Gosh.
It's been over an hour already.
See, you didn't even let Courtney. Courtney didn't
know
even.
what my vote
Courtney
is.
didn't
No, she doesn't
vote.
need to. She knew exactly what her vote was. And I'll just for the record, my vote only because of my research in it, and I hadn't seen them anywhere else around the US apart from this one here in California. I don't know why in my research, but I would have voted for that one because of my research more so than anything else. Yeah. That's all.
Yeah. I do recommend Craig, because House on the Rock will be up again. I recommend maybe just watch a little bit of YouTube.
I don't need to watch YouTube.
So
you're the YouTuber, Josh. I look at photos and I can decide for
Craig,
myself.
you're going to be kind of driving through Wisconsin later this summer, so you could. I'll come meet you there. I'll grab Josh. All 3 of us can go. It'll be great.
All 3 of us go a house on the rock.
Yes.
Yeah. And then I can literally push Josh off the high glass.
I don't know about
glass
that.
floor. What do we got next, Josh? We're up to our level 3.
All right. Now, from now on, every single one we mention we've already mentioned.
No, some of these we haven't mentioned.
So, no, I should not say that. We haven't mentioned some of these, but they're going up. They're going up against ones we've already mentioned.
Yep.
Yeah. Yes. So number 1. It's going to be number 1 versus number 16.
No, this is not fair. This is not fair.
Yeah.
I'm protesting. This is not fair. This wasn't seeded properly. What have we got, Josh? What have we got, mate?
Number one is the Eartha, world's largest globe, against the beer can house. Now, Eartha is a patron. It is a patron choice. Yeah. It got voted the most times by the patrons, which made it number 1. Now, this is the old building. We talked about it in the last podcast. This is the old building of the Delorme Map Company, now owned by Garmin, who makes GPS devices. And inside of it is a gigantic, moving, spinning globe. inside, it is exactly as you imagine. It lights up from the outside. You can drive by this thing, and it is a beautiful sight indoors. And also, because it's a draw. It's a draw for geocachers. There's a whole case filled with geocoins that you can discover. This is a geocacher's
It's got a diameter of 41 feet, 18 inches, which is 12.5 meters. It weighs 5,600 pounds, which is 2,540 kilos for the rest of the world. And I love the fact with this one, Josh, as well, that it was originally the headquarters of DeLorme and now part of Garmin. But I also, Josh, I love this one here. It rotates 24/7. And it lights up at night. So if you're driving past any time of the day, Monday to Sunday, any time of the day, it's going to be open for photos, etc. as well. Up against the Beer Can House, we've already heard about the Beer Can's house. I'm going for Eartha for this one.
I'm going sad to vote against the Beer Can House 2 times, but I'm going Eartha.
That's okay.
I'm sorry.
That's okay. I knew where you're going anyway because you hate the Beer Can House.
No, I love the Beer Can House.
Even though you got a Brewery Adventure podcast, you hate Beer Can House with the Brewery Adventure podcast with Courtney, Mecca MN, and the Minnesota boy Tim. So anyway, what's the next one we have, Josh?
All right, the next one is number 4 versus number 13, which is the Bad Art Museum against Seattle's iconic gum wall.
Iconic. So we've already heard, obviously, about your one, Courtney, as well. So this is going up against the iconic gum wall in Seattle, Washington. If you haven't heard about this one, then you're not a geocacher because there is a geocache there. Apparently, it is a fake bit of gum. It's an alleyway near Pike Place Market where visitors have adhered countless pieces of a chewing gum to create a colorful and sticky mosaic. It has been cleaned several times. In 2015, it was the last cleanup, and they removed, ready for this? They removed over 2,000 pounds of gum was removed. And then within 6 months, it was covered again. So it is classed as one of the germiest yet most beloved roadside attractions in the USA. That's the reason why I selected the gum wall in Seattle as a roadside attraction. As I said, the actual geocache there, well, it's got a good DT rating tool or good difficulty rating as well.
How many pieces of actual gum do you touch before you find the geocache?
You have to wear gloves. So here's the thing. I've been to that gum wall 3 or 4 times. I've never found the geocache.
How much gum did you touch?
I've DNF'd that. I just DNF'd it so many times. I didn't have gloves. I thought I could spot it. It's a fake piece. I'll just say it's a fake piece of gum.
But it's so amongst all real gum. It's worse trying to find that than what is a fake rock in amongst real rocks. That sort of thing too. So yeah. So
it smells really good though. It smells exactly like
gum,
like strawberry gum. It smells good.
Exactly.
It's weird.
So that's gum walls going up against the which one? The Museum of Bad Art.
The Bad Art Museum.
Okay, fair enough. Well, I'm going gum wall for this one.
I'm going with my bad art because that gum sounds disgusting.
That's okay. That makes sense.
It is disgusting, but it is kind of cool. I'm going gum wall.
Sorry, Courtney.
Gum wall moves on.
All right, it gets quicker now. With these ones.
Yes. Through. All right, this one's going to be tough. I think. I think this is going to be a tough matchup. We're going the Blue Whale, 12th seed against the Field of Dreams in Dyersville, Iowa.
Yeah, and they did with the Blue Whale.
The Field of Dreams is mine.
All right, Josh, what's the Field of Dreams about? Tell us about the Field of Dreams.
All right, so I've been here. I've been to the Field of Dreams 2 different times. I've got actually a video of it. This is the shooting location of the classic, iconic movie Field of Dreams. They actually took it's kind of like a true story in itself. They actually cut out a baseball field in the middle of a field. There's a beautiful little house, and this is where the ghost players, they come out of the corn, and you can play, you can run the bases, you can hit, you can throw, you can play catch with your dad, just like in the movie. There's of course a little walk through museum. There's ghost players events. So if you go at a certain time, they actually have the ghost players come out of the corn and they have an actual real baseball game.
How can they? Have they got a Ouija board there to summon these ghosts out of the field or something? Do they? What?
No, don't need it. This place is magical. I actually, when the video that I shot, I had my grandma come out of the corner and find a geocache. So I should put that. That's actually, I think, in the show notes. So, actually, the New York Yankees and the Cubs, like once a year, Major League Baseball actually plays a Major League game at the Field of Dreams. It is pretty cool. It's a peaceful atmosphere. It's a rural Iowa. It's beautiful. It's great place to visit at sunset. And there is a geocache there, of course, at the Field of Dreams.
Josh, just to let you know, you sold that more than what I sold the beer can house. And everyone listening will understand that too now. And when you listen back, you go, Josh, you can't rat on Craig for selling the beer can house when you literally had the dreams of that Field of Dreams. That's what you did. So you created your own dream.
You pulled out your grandma to sell that.
I know. He pulled the grandma card.
My grandma.
Yep.
Yeah. If you build it.
Oh, jeez. So I take it you're going Field of Dreams, Josh. Yes,
I am going Field of Dreams. The blue whale. It is iconic. It is. But if I had to pick, Josh, you're going to go to the Field of Dreams, blue whale. I would pick the Field of Dreams.
I'm going to pick blue whale for the simple reason is again roadside attraction feeling, and also I would like to put Courtney on the spot because she loves being sitting on that fence of hers. So
I think that's the real reason.
That's one of the reasons, one of many. So Courtney, it's up to you, blue whale or Field of Dreams, and I'll be honest with you, if you pick Field of Dreams, I'm not going to be upset. If you pick blue whale, Josh will be upset. So,
well, here's the thing.
Don't tell me how I feel.
If I'm driving down the road and it says go left for the blue whale or go right for Field of Dreams, I'm going to go right for Field of Dreams.
Yeah, I knew you were going there. I knew you were going there.
That's my vote. It's nothing against the blue whale. I get that it's iconic, and I would absolutely stop for it. But it's Field of Dreams,
I know.
man.
Yeah.
And as Josh says, if you sell it, they will come.
Right. I will expect Josh's grandma to be walking out of the field, though. So.
Exactly. All right, well, Josh, what do we got up next, mate? What's next? Which one?
All right, we've got number 2 versus number 18.
Oh, no.
Number 2 is the Whirligig Park, which is... I don't know where it is. I can't remember where it is.
Do you want me to? Okay, so the hole in the rock is mine, but I can actually do the Whirligig Park if you want as well. I'm happy to do that.
We talked about it in the last episode.
I know, because it's going to...
Courtney, you need to watch a video of this.
Yeah.
Really?
Of Whirligig Park. I'm going to pull it up in the show notes so you can see what it looks like.
I'm on their website. I really like the
Whirligig Park.
Whirligig.
So it's
you can't vote on it until you see
it first. And you have a look at it while I'm actually talking about it. It's in Wilson, North Carolina, Josh. This was one of our patron picks as well. And I do believe it was Nancy Tivia that selected this one too. This one, I was not going to vote for last week because I thought Whirligig Park, I thought it might have been Adventure Park or Tourism Park. No, it is an actual roadside attraction, a real fair dinkum roadside attraction in a local park inside the Wilson in North Carolina. It is made up of, I don't know how many exactly the amount of whirligigs themselves. Whirligigs are like wind-related art and motion and windmill kind of things. Exactly. Yeah. It is open daily as well, from 5 a.m. to 12 a.m. So 5 a.m. to midnight. So it's going to be there all the time, open up itself. So that's all it is. It is one of those areas where you have to see it to believe it. You have to see it to look at it and to appreciate all the actual artwork in which it is. And so my vote is going against the Hole in the Rock and going for the Whirligig Park.
Wow.
I'm putting it straight out there, Josh. I'm getting the Whirligig moving.
Yeah, here. Courtney. Yep, Courtney, I'm going to give you time to look at the video. It's at the very bottom of the show notes is the link. Yes, the Whirligig Park is I didn't know what it was till I saw it, and it's art. It's chaotic. It's a spectacle. It's a spectacle. That's what it is. It's the best word you can say. It's a park just filled with all these crazy windmills going all different directions, and they're all very different. I think, gosh, Hole in Rock was pretty cool. I want to visit it, but I am too. I am too going to go Whirligig Park.
Nancy Tivia, our patron, did a great job in selecting that one. Courtney, what's your choice in regards to Hole in Rock or the Whirligig Park?
I feel like Hole in Rock was poorly seated. It should have been better, but I don't think it beats Whirligig Park.
I'm in agreement. I picked Hole in Rock, and I fully agree with the Whirligig Park thing as well. So there you go, Josh. Whirligig Park moves on. What do we have up next, mate?
We have next number 10, which is the Duck Tours in Wisconsin Dells.
Yeah.
Versus number 7, which is the Superman statue, which was a patron pick in Metropolis
as well.
Metropolis, Illinois.
Wow.
This is a tough one. These are two very, very different things.
Yep.
I'll talk about the Superman statue.
Yeah,
Superman statue is in Metropolis, Illinois. Yes, there is a Metropolis, Illinois. It's a small little town in southern Illinois. The statue is a gigantic, beautiful photo opportunity in front of the courthouse building. Across the street from the Superman statue is a museum that is dedicated completely to Superman. And if you want to explore more Superman stuff, there's a bronze statue of Lois Lane. It's everything Superman. If you love superheroes, if you love Superman, you got to get here. It is exactly that. It is iconic. It is cool. I think it's great. This is going to be a tough choice. I'm going to really listen to you two to decide. I love my Duck Tours, but I haven't visited the Superman statue.
Oh, it's up against the Duck Tours, is it?
Yeah, the Wisconsin Duck Tours.
Oh, this isn't hard for my decision then, because I am absolutely all in for the Superman statue, only for the simple reason Duck Tours for me is not really a roadside attraction. As I said before, when it was up against the bathrooms, I picked the bathrooms over the Duck Tours last round, Josh. So I can't now pick Duck Tours, especially over the Superman statue. Plus, the Superman statue is a patron pick, and they did a good job again with this patron pick too. I didn't even know about the Superman statue until the patrons actually messaged as well and let us know. And we did some research and went, wow, that's pretty cool. So I'm all in for the Superman statue, up and away. Courtney, what about you?
Wait, doesn't Josh have to vote first?
No, because it's a patron pick, so it doesn't really matter.
Patron pick. I want to hear yours. I want to hear yours, Courtney.
His pick was the Ducks.
No, it's not. I can pick against mine. I just said, I haven't voted yet.
Okay.
He hasn't voted yet.
I love superheroes.
We're breaking rules.
I love that the city is actually called Metropolis. Superman is my least favorite superhero.
Wow, you don't care. You don't care about Superman.
I'm not super into Superman, but the childhood nostalgia of the Ducks.
Oh, it's a childhood. Wow. So if it was Batman, would it have been different? Who's your favorite?
Oh my God, nothing's going to beat Batman.
Oh, I knew that.
Find me a Batman statue. It wins.
Is it The Voice? I'm Batman.
It might be The Voice.
I knew. All right, Josh, now you're the decider here between the Superman statue, which was a patron pick and is a real true roadside attraction, or Duck Tours, which is just, a little tour guide in a boat/car.
This is tough. I'm in the power seat. I can move mine forward. But
you did put your hand on your heart and you said you were going to choose the one you would most likely like to go to and do a video of as well.
It's really tough too because I've done the Duck Tours before.
Yeah,
so I know
I didn't see a video. I didn't see a video, Josh. So if it's not video worthy for you, then obviously it's not going to be worthy.
I'm going Superman statue.
Yes.
I'm voting against
and away.
My own.
Poor Courtney. She just wants the voice. That's all she cares about.
Yeah. There's
very cool.
So rooting to him.
Superman statue goes through. Courtney, I believe I'm 100% in with you when it comes to I'm a Batman person over Superman as well. So yeah.
I like Superman better. He's a real superhero. Batman's just rich.
It's because you look like him, Josh. You got your glasses on when you're Clark Kent, and then when you put the vlogger voice on, and you do the hair, and out come the muscles. The glasses go off, and up and away he goes. And he's the Superman of the geocaching world.
I'll take it.
I know you will. What do we got next, mate? What do we got next?
All right, this is gonna be. We got a good one. Number 3, Captain Kirk's birthplace in Riverside, Iowa. Versus the Unclaimed Baggage Center.
Who did these ones? You're the Unclaimed Baggage Center, Josh.
Yeah, I'm the Baggage Center. We've talked about Baggage Center.
It's mine. It's so
Talk
mine.
about Captain Kirk's birthplace, Courtney.
Wow. It's all yours, Courtney.
I could go on for days about this because I'm so excited about it. Captain Kirk. They have a statue, a plaque, and all the stuff set up for him in Riverside, Iowa. They've got like a little museum and a place that you can stop and see all kinds of Star Trek memorabilia. But like the history behind it is just so crazy. Captain Kirk, like they specified in Star Trek that he was born in Iowa, but they never gave him a birthplace. So this town in Iowa just said, well, it said some small town in Iowa, that could be us. So that their city council voted to make their city the official birthplace of Captain Kirk, and it passed. So they just decided they had this River Fest that happened the last weekend in June every year. They decided to change River Fest to Trek Fest. So now every year, this year will be their 40th anniversary of doing Trek Fest.
Wow.
They've just made the personality of their city be Star Trek. So Captain Kirk's birthday is March 22nd of 2233. There's some, they, I think, declared a year maybe before it was actually entered into Star Trek canon. So it's a little bit off, but it's close. Coincidentally, William Shatner's birthday is also March 22nd. So there is that. But really this whole thing was just created by a council member saying this should be our city. And it is now officially in Star Trek canon because in the most recent Star Trek movies, they did put in that he was born in Riverside. They've claimed it.
They've claimed it. They've let them do. Oh, wow. Wow.
And even Gene Roddenberry like chimed in and said, like, as far as I'm concerned, the first volunteer, that's it. You get it.
So I have been here as well. I've made a video of it. There's a geocaching video of it.
Well,
there's a statue. There's a statue of Captain Kirk there. There's a big, like, almost looks like a gravestone where it says future birthplace. If you go into the bar,
I was going to say, go to the bar.
Pool table, on the pool table it says the conception place of James T. Kirk. The museum, if you love Star Trek, I mean, the museum is super cool. Yeah. Against Unclaimed Baggage Center, I pick Captain Kirk.
Yeah. Do you pick Captain Kirk, Courtney?
Oh my God, I'm picking it over everything. I have not been there. I am going there this summer and no one is stopping me.
It's a three-way. It's a three-way for Captain Kirk's birthplace. There we go. One of a rare one actually in this episode, Josh. We haven't really all decided, all three of us together, on that much, to be honest with you. So
we've had some sweeps.
We have. All right, what do we got next, Josh?
Last one of round two.
Round two.
Last one we're going to mention. It is number 22. Ooh, the Cinderella story, Craig. Number 22, the paper house.
Oh, yes.
Versus number 6, steampunk treehouse.
Who's number? Who's
that's mine too.
Oh, Courtney, it's up to you now. Courtney, you're in.
I'm going to look steampunk treehouse.
So,
I'm doing the same thing.
To be fair, this is also now located in a brewery in in Milton, Delaware. Originally, though, it was an art installation that was part of the Burning Man Festival that's in Nevada. So they had this art installation. They were kind of like looking around for what can we do with this after Burning Man. It's this enormous like metal and wood treehouse structure that they built for Burning Man, which is really super cool. They ended up selling their art installation to this brewery for $1.
Oh, wow.
That which didn't include the shipping and all of the stuff that goes into tearing it down, shipping it across the country and restructuring it in a new location. But this brewery now, it is Dogfish Head Craft Brewery in Milton, Delaware, now has this amazing steampunk treehouse structure that's kind of part of their landscape.
Wow.
It looks cool.
I'm looking at photos of it too, and it's understandable they sell it for $1 because they don't want the hassle of actually removing it from Burning Man as well.
Probably not.
That's all it is. That's all it is. They would have built it for Burning Man knowing that they can get rid of it for free. It does look really cool. It is actually a full-blown tree house as a normal tree, like a fake tree, metal tree with a house on top. There's a spiral staircase going all the way up. It is quite large as well. Like I can see it there.
It is 40 feet tall, 20 feet.
40 feet tall.
Or the total height is 40 feet. The trunk height is 20 feet.
Yep.
Branches are 40 feet.
And I do like a Dogfish brewery. Like I like the beer, the Dogfish beer too. So, and this is up against which one, Josh? I can't even think now.
It's yours. It's yours.
Oh,
the paper
house. He's getting all excited and he didn't know.
I'm gonna go. I'm all in. I'm the treehouse, Josh. I'm the steampunk treehouse on this one over the paper house. What about you, Courtney?
Oh, I'm all about this treehouse.
And Josh?
I was going to pick the paper house.
Oh, really? Wow.
House. Wow. This is house versus house. But
house versus house.
I just think going inside the paper house is like, there's a little bit more history. This is just kind of like a spectacle outside. There, you can immerse yourself and experience the paper house. This is kind of just like something outside. It does look cool. It doesn't matter though. It doesn't matter what I think because it lost.
No,
steampunk.
It's not a sweep. It's not a sweep. So steampunk's all the way through.
Treehouse.
There we go.
Moves
That's
on.
all the way through. Exactly. All right, we're getting to round 3 now. This is now getting to the pointy end of the stick, Josh. So what do you have for round 3?
Would you like to hear all the ones that are still in? By the way.
Yes. In random order. No, not in
random order.
Random order.
Eartha.
Yep.
Whirligig Park.
Oh yeah.
House on the Rock. Field of Dreams. Gumwall, Superman statue, steampunk treehouse, Captain Kirk. We've got 8 left. Finally,
wow! And they are 8 quality. We've done good so far. I will say we've really done this job well. There's none there that shouldn't be there, to be honest with you. So
yes, I agree.
All right, what's the first matchup we have, Josh?
Let's go to the top. Let's go to number 1 versus number 9. Eartha, number 1 versus Wisconsin's whimsical, crazy, insane House on the Rock.
Wow. Well, House on the Rock is yours, Courtney. So who do you vote for, House on the Rock or Eartha?
House on the Rock is an amazing structure on its own, but it also has a carousel, the world's largest indoor carousel inside of it.
This is true.
She's selling hard. I will say this, and that is I did look at both of these now, especially after you spoke about it the first time as well. I am still on the Eartha Globe bandwagon because it's very geocache related for me, you see. So that purpose alone, really, it hit over the House on the Rock for me. So I'm an Eartha. Josh, this one's all on yours now. You've got the splinters now. You've got the splinters.
Gosh.
Yeah.
I love that look of pain.
Oh my God. I'm watching, it has a piano that plays itself. I'm watching a YouTube video right now. It is so weird and so creepy.
There's so much at House on the Rock.
I know, there is a lot. You can spend 3 hours there. Eartha would be really quick. But if I had to choose.
You do. You have to choose, Josh.
It's the geocacher in me that's pulling me.
Yeah.
I think.
Because I didn't do my proper research on geocaches near the locations that I picked.
No.
Even if there wasn't a geocache, it's pretty the spectacle of that globe.
And also the fact that it used to be DeLorme and now Garmin as well, which is just geocache upon geocache pull. That earth pull, that magnetic pull that's pulling you towards Eartha, and it's a patron pick as well. So
never get on the wrong side of Craig. This is what I'm learning today.
This is the Australian in me. See, this is the Australian in me. So
I'm looking at Eartha.
Yeah. Yep.
Eartha is just epic. It's Eartha for me. I'm sorry. That was my hardest. Courtney. That was my hardest decision so far.
Yeah. And maybe the hardest out of all of them, to be honest with you. But we'll soon see. So there we go.
Eartha
is in the final 4. Patron is in final 4. Well done, patrons. Well done. You see, I'm a man of the patrons too, Courtney. So what else do we have next, Josh? What do we have next?
All right, we're going Whirligig Park versus Superman statue.
Oh, wow. Okay. So Whirligig Park was patrons as well, and Superman statue was patrons. So they're both patron picks as well. So we've got another patron pick in the top. Wow.
4. Yeah.
Wait, did we miss one?
I'm going to go.
I'm going out of order.
Oh, he's just in random order. Well, I'm going to put it out here. I'm going Whirligig Park because, as I said, it's the movement factor for me. It's the fact that the moving, the sound, the looks, the whole lot. Superman statue is cool, but again, that's just for photo opportunities, etc. as well. But the Whirligig Park, I'm in for Whirligig Park. Who wants to go second? Which one?
Well, it shouldn't be me because I'm the only one that voted for Superman last time.
Okay.
So Courtney, what do you think?
I'm going Whirligig.
Okay.
Yeah.
I would actually go Whirligig as well.
Oh, wow. There's another sweep. A sweep this late in the round. That's really cool. That is really cool. Nice job, guys. Nice job.
So
it feels good when we all agree. Yeah. But it feels good when we agree.
Well, it's also interesting too that if the patrons go through, there's no patron like selling it. We're much more more diplomatic.
Yeah, exactly. There's no sales pitch. Exactly right. Exactly. What do we have next, Josh? Which one do you have?
Next one, the Gum Wall of Seattle versus the Field of Dreams of Iowa.
Oh, wow. This is me versus Josh. All right. So we've already done the push on this.
Well, we can sell it a little bit more because Courtney's going to decide this one.
Yeah, exactly.
I'm pretty sure.
Yeah. You go first then, Josh.
The Field of Dreams. The Field of Dreams. It's almost like a spiritual experience.
You can't pull the grandmother card the second time around. You've already pulled that once. You can't do it again.
It is so amazing. The title, like the whole state of Iowa, at one point their slogan was, "Is this heaven? No, it's Iowa." Like that was the state slogan because of the Field of Dreams movie. And they were so proud. Gosh, they were so proud of their town that they decided to film that cache there. The gum wall. I mean, I don't mean to go negative, but you're right, Courtney. It's gross. And you know what? The gum wall. If you go to the gum wall at the wrong time, you could end up going to the gum wall when they've just cleaned it and there's no gum wall. It just disappears.
Oh wow! They've cleaned it once in 2015. They haven't cleaned it again since in 10 years. So they're not going to clean it again anytime soon. Courtney, I will say the gum wall. There's an actual, real, hard quality geocache there that once you find the gum wall geocache, you're proud. You then become proud of an actual find. Can you imagine, Courtney? You go to the gum wall and you put your hand. You got your gloves on, right? So it's not really too disgusting, but you got your gloves on and you're dedicated. You're like, I need to find this. You put your hand. The first thing you put your hand on is the actual fake gum, and you find that cache. And Josh has been there. How many times, Josh? 15, 16 times. How many times have you been there?
I've been there a couple times. I've been there for 3 times.
3 times.
I'm sorry. Yeah, I've been there 3 times. Yes,
3 times. So you go there straight away and you get the cache. You sign your name on that logbook. Josh has been there 3 times and has not got his name on that log. How good would you feel? So that alone is.
I tell you, I wasn't there 3 times because of the gum wall. I was there 3 times because Pike's Place Market is cool, and the first Starbucks is right there as well.
Exactly. So you got all 3 now. Thanks, Josh, for selling it to me. So
we're talking about the gum wall, the worst part of the Pike's Place Market.
Whereas the Field of Dreams, it's really nice. It's very, the whole lot. It's a movie location. Movie locations for me, Courtney, they are close to my heart. I do love movie locations, but it's the gum wall. It is literally a roadside attraction as opposed to actually a destination, which I feel like the Field of Dreams would be more of a destination than a roadside.
There's no real road next to the gum wall. I'll just say that. It's just kind of a dead end. It's a dead end.
I just need to, okay. As a kid, I had this thing called a gum pal where you could take your chewing gum before you go to bed and you put your gum on the gum pal. So then in the morning when you wake up, you can put the gum back in your mouth and keep chewing it. I know what that gum feels like. I don't want to touch other people's gum that feels like that. Also, you're talking to someone who takes Tim geocaching with me so he can stick his hand into random geocaches because I will not stick my hand in there. I don't want to touch that stuff.
But Courtney, I will say, I've seen you in a lot of Tim's videos as well, and you always have a gum in your mouth. You are a gum chewer. So
that's my gum.
A gum, I know it's your gum, but if you're a gum lover, why wouldn't you love a gum wall? That's what I'm saying. Just even the look of it. Just you don't have to touch it. Just even the look of it. It's an art piece. You see. So that's what I'm saying. All right, Courtney, it's up to you. Field of Dreams or the gum wall? This is
Field of Dreams.
Oh, Courtney.
Yes.
Oh, Courtney.
I'm really sorry.
If that's the case now, Courtney, next time I see you, I do not want to see a piece of gum in your mouth for the entirety that I see you. So
I have no problem with my own gum, but if you hand me your gum, I don't want to touch it.
I'm not going to hand you my gum. That's disgusting.
Exactly. You shouldn't touch other people's gum.
It's a gum wall. You don't have to touch it. But anyway, Field of Dreams moved on. There we go. Field of Dreams. Well, it's fine. I'm not going to be in the final. That's all right. It's no whatever.
The last one of the third round. The last one of the third round, which is the quarterfinals. We've got Captain Kirk's future birthplace versus the steampunk treehouse.
Actually,
Both
Josh,
Courtney's.
They're both mine.
I'm out. I'm out.
Craig is out. You're
I
done.
don't have any left. I'm done. Oh, then I don't care now. That's it now. Patrons, I'm all for you. Patrons, I'm all for you.
No, you swore.
I'm joking. I did. But I can't believe it. After last year, I'm now all out. Wow.
You didn't get one Final Four. Bummer.
No. So sorry, which one was it? The Captain Kirk's birthplace versus
Future Birthplace versus the Steampunk Treehouse.
Oh,
both Courtney's.
Yeah. Josh, your pick.
Captain Kirk.
Me, Captain Kirk. Courtney's going to say Captain Kirk as well, isn't she?
I am going to say Captain Kirk.
There we go. That was easy.
I really want to go see them both, but Captain Kirk. How can you not?
That was an easy pick. That one. That was an easy. That pick.
That was maybe the easiest of the whole tournament.
It really was. It really was. All right, Josh. Next up, we have the next round. Now we're in the next round.
Final four.
Final four. Wow.
We're here.
Wow.
Ready? Here it is.
Yeah.
Eartha.
Yep.
The number 1 seed, Eartha, versus Field of Dreams, which is the number 5 seed. So it's patrons versus me.
Yeah.
Oh boy.
Do you want to go first, Josh?
Sure. Mm-hmm. Well, maybe I shouldn't go first because it's. Well, I'll ask you guys this: are you already decided?
Yes.
I am not decided.
I am decided. Courtney.
Are you decided? Courtney's
Yeah.
decided.
Yeah.
Okay. So I'm not decided. So I should debate amongst myself.
Well, if you're not decided though, why not just Courtney and I? If it's
that might influence my decision, or it might not matter.
But all we say, we won't talk about it, or we'll just say who we've picked. That's it, because you know both of many. Courtney, who have you picked? Which one?
Field of Dreams.
And I'm Eartha. So there you go, Josh. It's on
God.
You knew that was coming.
I did. I knew it was there.
I knew it was coming.
Neither of us are going to sway you, Josh. This is all on you, mate. This is on you.
Here's why it's so difficult. I've been to the Field of Dreams.
Mm-hmm.
I have not been to Eartha. So naturally I would gravitate. Like if I decide today which one I would want to visit, I'd want to visit the one that I haven't been to, which would be Eartha. But if I hadn't visited either of them, which one would I select?
I'm not going to influence you in any way, Josh, but all I'll say is that you've been influencing yourself because you've been saying gravitational pull. That's all you've been saying the whole time. Every single time and it's true. If you listen back to this episode, every single time you've said about Eartha from the first go, you've said gravitational pull, and you just said it then. I'm gravitating towards. That's what you said. So
what are you gravitating
it's
toward?
Up to you. Yeah, which one, Josh? Which one? Come on. This is the longest episode we're going to have this year, by the way, just to let you know. So,
unless we split it up.
No, we're not going to split it up. No, we're not going to split it. We can't do that to people. 2 week wait between finding out who's going to win. No. Come on, Josh. It's up to you, mate. Eartha or
it's so hard. It's so difficult.
Field of Dreams.
Field of Dreams. It's an upset.
Look at Craig.
Wow.
Oh, I wish everybody could see Craig's face.
If I've never visited either of them.
Wow.
And somebody said to me,
wow.
Just like you said, Courtney, Field of Dreams that way, Eartha that way, I would go to the Field of Dreams.
So I'll say this as well. All the patrons out there listening to this right now, next time you see Josh and myself at a next mega event or any event whatsoever, do not go up and shake his hand. Just come to me and give me a big hug. I'm for the patrons. Come and give me the hug, patrons, and give Josh the cold shoulder.
The Field of Dreams still have. I'm sorry, the patrons still have a horse in this race, though.
Oh yeah, absolutely. But I'm saying Eartha was a good horse. That was the number 1 seed. Josh, that was the number 1 seed.
It was that was probably the biggest upset of the whole tourney this year. It was tough. It was
and you
really
made it
tough.
happen. You created that upset. But anyway, we'll move on.
Well, Courtney voted for it too.
You created it.
What's the next one, Josh?
All right. Big Final Four match. Whirligig Park versus the future birthplace of Captain James T. Kirk.
Oh, wow. Okay. Courtney, have you made up your mind already?
Absolutely.
Josh, have you made up your mind yet?
Yes.
And I've made up my mind. How about ready? On 3, after I'll say 1, 2, 3, and we all say at the same time so we don't influence each other. Okay? Ready? 1, 2, 3.
Captain Kirk.
Oh, wow. See, again, patrons. See, patrons, I love you guys. I really do. All of you.
It was a tough one.
He's not even my captain.
Is Picard your captain?
It's not even
Picard
real.
is 100% my captain.
It's not even real.
Picard's
it's made up. It's not even real. Whirligig Park is real.
Did you know in Indiana there is also a statue dedicated to Captain Janeway?
Really? That's
and
cool.
I think it's Bloomington, Indiana. They have the same thing, like future birthplace of Captain Janeway.
Who's Captain Craig? I'm discovering you're going against two Trekkies. Yeah, this he's from Australia. Yeah. He doesn't know anything.
Get out of here. Get out. Just get out.
Yeah, no, we didn't have that sort of technology in Australia.
Who is Janeway?
Yeah, no idea. Honestly, no idea. Honestly, I'm being honest with you.
Anyway. I know.
All right, so who we got? What do we got left, Josh?
This is fascinating. This is fascinating. We've got two pop culture. We got two movie/TV show movies
in Iowa.
Both in Iowa. This is amazing. You know who would be happy? Olio in Iowa would be very happy of this result.
And I will say this. I think I may be the contributing factor for this one, for the finale, for the win. And patrons, I've got your back.
Patrons don't have anything on here.
Yeah, I know. And that's what I'm saying. But I've got their back in terms of what they've who kicked who out.
Yeah. Gosh. So I'll speak my piece first. Mm-hmm. And I'm not gonna tell them my vote. I'm trying to be as diplomatic as possible. Riverside, Iowa is very close to Ottumwa, Iowa, which is the birthplace of the geocaching vlogger. Greatness comes from that area, or future greatness.
If you don't say so yourself.
The Field of Dreams. The Field of Dreams is a magical place. It actually feels real. Like the movie obviously is spiritual and it's all the things, but when you go there, especially at night when the lights are on, you feel like, oh my gosh, I'm in the movie. Now, Captain Kirk, the whole town is filled with cool. Like you got the statue, you got the museum, they have a whole festival. Although in Dyersville, Iowa, they also have a festival around the Field of Dreams. These are very, oh my gosh, the scales are very equal. That's my piece. I haven't decided.
Courtney, do you have anything to say before forever holding your peace?
This town has claimed this as their identity.
Oh, so we already know who you're going for.
They made it up. And they claimed it. And then the studio said, okay, that sounds great. You're it. That's done. They changed their city logo. They've put all of this stuff together, like just dedicating themselves to this thing. Wow. Also, I would like to point out that if Josh won last year, do you really want him to win 2 years in a row?
That has nothing to do with it.
Oh, no. Okay, so this is my thoughts as literally I am the undecided. I'm literally.
I have not decided. I have not decided.
I understand that, but I'm saying, like, obviously, Josh, you have got the inkling towards Field of Dreams. Courtney, you're all in for the birthplace. I will say this as the deciding factor. Yes, they are both iconic. Yes, they're both not real. They're both fake. Let's be honest. They're both made up in regards to they're both movies or TV shows. There is probably, I'm going to say, I'm not going to against Trekkies, but there's more feelings towards the Field of Dreams. However, that was a bigger movie, but the Trekkies and stuff as well is a bigger pop culture than what the Field of Dreams is. You see, I'm balancing them right up here. Okay, I haven't decided yet, so I'll just let you know, Courtney, because you're looking at me with those eyes.
Well, I don't think the Field of Dreams being one solo movie compares to like the entire franchise of Star Trek.
The other thing I was thinking about as well, and that is that how many people actually attend this location, the Field of Dreams, as opposed to the Captain Kirk's birthplace.
More at the Field of Dreams, I'm sure.
Really?
More,
really?
Yes. It's more, I'll just say this. I think the Field of Dreams is more well known. They have Major League Baseball games there. The Yankees versus the Cubs play there.
This is true.
Like, it is more known. If you ask people.
In America.
If you ask people in America.
Yeah.
Where is the Field of Dreams? They would say it's in Iowa. If you asked somebody, where is Captain Kirk's birthplace? The average American, they would not know.
This is true. That's true.
That's because they made it up and they said it's just going to be here.
And they made up the Field of Dreams and said, like, let's make a movie about this.
Shot a movie there. It's fine. I mean, they did shoot some of the newer Star Trek things in Riverside after they said, okay, you can have this as the birthplace. William Shatner was there. They said he was lovely.
To keep this under 2 hours this episode, Courtney,
the longest
what is your
episode.
The longest ever. Courtney, what is your pick, either Field of Dreams or the Captain Kirk's birthplace for the win of 2025?
Kirk's future birthplace.
There's Courtney's. Josh, it's on you now. Which
drum roll, please. Field of Dreams.
Oh, Josh, I thought you did.
I know you thought I was gonna.
I did.
I was gonna swerve. I was gonna swerve.
I did. You did the drum roll and you got me. I'm like, oh, I went. Oh, I actually did a little sigh of relief. And
I convinced myself when I started thinking about how famous they were.
Yeah. Okay, so for these reasons and these reasons alone, that is, we are a tourism / travel podcast that's guided by a love of geocaching. There are geocaches at both locations. We are a US based one as well. So given those factors themselves, I am going to say, and I hate to say it, it's the Field of Dreams.
You're letting him.
Oh my gosh! Wow!
It's the Field of Dreams. Yeah.
That's awesome.
And
the winner.
The main reason why I hate to say it is because Josh's pick. That's the real reason why I hate to say it more than anything else.
Every podcast that you have for the rest of the year, you're going to have to know he is the 2-time champion.
And I was voting Captain Kirk all the way to the end. I liked it. It was a good one.
But I enjoy the fact, Courtney, as well, that all the patrons that see him now for the rest of the year again are like, give him the cold shoulder because they knocked the patrons out. He knocked the patrons out. So
he totally did.
So that's what I like about that too. So I don't mind him bragging because he brags to me all the time anyway about his hairstyle and the fact he's got more hair than me and he uses a blow dryer. So the fact is that the patrons are now going to give him the cold shoulder and come give me a hug instead. That to me is more pleasurable.
There's a price to pay
than winning any tournament. Exactly. There's a price to pay when you're at the top, Josh, isn't there?
Yeah. Yes.
Well done. I will say, well done to everyone out there. Well done to the patrons. Thank you so much to patrons for picking everything as well. Well done, Josh, on your win. Courtney, well done on a very, very, very close second place. And also, all your picks themselves as well. There's a lot of there we didn't even know about, especially that house on the rock. That for me is now going to have to be on my list.
Yeah,
so
that's great.
Yeah, that sort of stuff too. So really, really appreciate Courtney coming along too. So Josh, what else have you got to say in regards to things?
Well, I just want to say the final was a very slight upset because the Field of Dreams was a 5 seed and Captain Kirk was number 3. It was a 3 seed.
Oh,
so
wow.
It was, okay. but the fact that we had a 3 versus 5, that's very close. That means that the seeding it worked.
Spot on.
It feels like it still went against the patrons though.
Yeah, Courtney, good job, Courtney, rubbing it in.
I went with my heart. I went with my heart.
Yep. Exactly.
And I want to congratulate. We'll find out in the next episode. We'll find out which one of the patrons had the most accurate picks.
Yes,
as they have filled out their bracket. We'll announce that on the next episode. This is it. This was the longest episode of our podcast.
Exactly. No, not your fault, Courtney. Not your fault at all. But Courtney, before we wrap it up as well, where can people find you? What are you on? You said the Brewery Adventure with Tim. Any other places that people can find you in regards to your social media, etc.?
TheBreweryAdventure.com and The Brewery Adventure on Instagram, The Brewery Adventure on YouTube.
Oh, wow. So it's all about the breweries.
The Brewery Adventure.
The THE, The Brewery Adventure. Exactly. Or you can find her at Mecca MN, that's MECHAMN, on geocaching or on Munzie Playing as well. You got the same name for both, don't you? I'm sure
for both.
You do.
And you will notice on my geocaches that most of them are related to brewery events.
Oh, nice.
This is true.
Good job. But again, yes, a big thank you to you, Courtney, and again, thanks for joining us. And we'll see who's going to come in for next year's pick too, Josh. But meanwhile, patrons, if you're out there and you've enjoyed this and you've enjoyed being a part of the March Madness for 2025, Josh, how can people, if they haven't been part of the patrons, get part of the gameplay?
Yeah, they got to be a big part of this because they support us on Patreon. So if you would like to support us on Patreon, you go to patreon.com/treasures of our town, all kinds of fun perks. There's bonus episodes. There's what do we call them? Golden nuggets. There's golden nuggets. We had lots of golden nuggets leading into this episode. So please join us over there, and we would love and appreciate your support.
Exactly. Patreon.com/treasures of our town. And also a big and just a private shout out as well to Tivia, Nancy. She was one of the main ones that came up to me, Josh, in Bamarama and gave us the ideas in regards to involving patrons for this March Madness pick. So thank you very much for that, Nancy. Just a little private shout out from me. But otherwise, Josh, how can people contact us if they're not patrons? How can they find us?
Please reach out to us. We want to hear what you thought of this year's Roadside Attraction March Madness. So you can reach out to us at treasuresofourtownpodcast@gmail.com, or you can follow us on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, and YouTube.
And you can say, yes, Craig was robbed, and so were the patrons. Otherwise, Josh, that's our show for today. Please subscribe, rate, and review on your favorite podcasting app. And as always,
may your travels always lead you to the most unexpected and amazing roadside attractions like the Field of Dreams.
Oh,
if
I knew
you build it, they will come if you build it.
A whole year, Craig. You're in for a whole year.
If you record it, they will listen. So thank you very much, Courtney.
Bye, everybody.
And we'll see you next time. Bye.
Thank you, Courtney.
Thank you.